So again, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered in four corners of the earth, teaching his word and believing in his word, but willing that they continue to endure and be sincere. In the same spirit, bringing forth sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwathium, believers of his faith and his truth. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Right? Something to encourage us. You see the title of this lesson, Yahawah, why Yahawashi will reward the just, which is the righteous, the elect, and war against the wicked. And, you know, another part of that reward is for the righteous or the just to see the war that the Lord is going to have against the wicked, right? One thing I want to get, because I might be bringing out this precept again later on, but this is one precept just for the wicked, just for the wicked in the air. This is Psalms, the 7th chapter. This is Psalms, the 7th chapter, verse 11. It says, God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready. He have also prepared for him the instrument of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Those arrows are the missiles, the ICBM missiles of today. Nobody of war is using ancient arrows. Like, I'm not saying that arrows cannot be used, but in this war that's actually going to come, it is going to be missiles, right? This is an allegory about missiles, right? These things that's going to destroy, when he's talking about bending the bow, these are missiles. And these missiles is going to fall on Esau's head. 37, Psalms 37 and 15. It says, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. But going back to Psalm 7:11, it says, God is angry with the wicked every day. First and foremost, who is the wicked? Before we even start speaking about the awards of the righteous, which we're going to double back into this, but this is even more a great thing because the time that we in right now, seeing Israel and Iran exchange missiles, right, just to see the fake juju beings over there making war with other heathens, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, right? And right now it's June 15, and it's getting cold late at night, right? Even though that's still good, you know, you can sleep good, but summer, so-called, is not hitting. Lord willing, it can continue to be like this. So, you know, for those that are pursuing to be of the elect, you know, can get more excited of the times that we're in. But this is Malachi 1 and 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahawah have indignation. So who is the Lord angry with forever, right? Every day he is angry at the wicked. The wicked is Esau. He's the borderline of wickedness. The Lord is angry with the 2/3 too, because they wicked too. But the Lord is angry at the wicked Edomites, man. I believe it's Sirach, the 51st chapter. It says the Lord said it's three things he detests, right? The Sumerians, the stupid Philistines, or it's the stupid Samaritans and the Philistines, and the third don't deserve to be a nation, and those are Edomites. Regardless if you believe it or not, the Edomites is a so-called white man and woman, because Edom is going to be ruling. And the small hats, those that run the government, the European Union, all of them are Edomites. Regardless if you accept it or not, they can call themselves descendants of Japhet. They can call themselves the Juju beings, right? They're the wicked, right? And through the scriptures, the Lord is revealing them. Like the veil is being uncovered, where we're able to see who they is. It's like watching a movie Vendetta or watching a superhero or villain movie. They always got a mask on. But right now, the wicked is being revealed while the righteous or the nation of Israel is being revealed, right? But let's get to this point of God will reward the just. This is Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, starting at verse 15. It says, "But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward is with Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and the care of them is with the Most High." Right? So our reward is with the Lord. And that reward is going to come with Yahawashi when we go to Revelations, the last chapter, the 12th verse. It says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his according as his work shall be." Right? Yahawashi is going to come with that reward. And this is, for the men of the Lord that has forsaken or, chose the ministry over their family, their wives, their children, right? They're going to get 100-fold. This is Matthew, the 19th chapter, and verse 27. "Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken, abandoned all, and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?" And Peter had a wife. Peter, he had a wife in this time. He had a wife. He abandoned his wife for the ministry. Didn't mean he didn't love her. He wasn't caring for her, right? Because there's times where we see where his mother-in-law was sick, and it spoke about his wife. But he was putting Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi first, right? And because, of course, we're not going to enjoy things like we want to on this side. Some of us try to enjoy the most of our life with our loved ones on this side more than we try to enjoy the moment of with Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. It's a joy studying. It's a joy sharpening up your sword. It's a joy watching videos and seeing brothers of the same song, edify in all aspects. Verse 21, "And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." And the 12 is symbolic to the elect of the 144,000. It says, "And every one that have forsaken houses, brethren or sisters, father or mother or wife or children or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." So those that are pursuing to be first on this side, we first talking about the men, because the flock of the Lord, the flock of the Lord is men, right? The Lord's tabernacle is men. So any man that's trying to be first on this side is going to be last in the kingdom to come. And those that are last are going to be first in the kingdom, right? You got Yahawashi, David, the 12, and the 144,000 government body. And they're going to be the government over the rest of Israel, right? Because it's order. It's so-called rank, if you want to say, right? But all Israel is going to be free. All Israel is going to be above all nations, regardless of the rank. What Yahawashi say about John the Baptist? Even the least in the kingdom is going to be greater than John the Baptist. How John the Baptist was on earth, the least in the kingdom of Israel is going to be greater than what he was on the earth. Those are rewards, right? Peace, your children playing with animals, right? So we getting 100-fold in the kingdom. What other reward is coming with Yahawashi? The same time as Adam, where Adam was naming all the animals. This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 19. "And out of the ground Yahawah God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to all the fowls of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet a helpmeet for him. So we're gonna be Dr. Doolittles in the kingdom, man. Having conversations with the animals. He's naming the animals, and right now a lion knows he a lion, right? And it's all by how the Lord orchestrated. It's a man. A man is bringing order, and then the Lord said that Adam didn't find a helpmeet for himself. The Lord created a helpmeet, created women for men, right? So that men can be fruitful and bring forth their seed, right? And even more, when we look at the kingdom, men are going to be fruitful and not fruitful with just one woman, right? That's part of the reward. Brothers is not going to be in a box anymore. Men are going to be in authority. They're going to be in power. He said, if you want to be happy, you must stop living in the past. But unfortunately, I do the opposite. Um, what he said, history merely repeats itself. You have to live in the past, right? Because the past is our order. The laws was all the way in our past. Faith started in our past. So everything, what he said, the things that are written in the scriptures was written for our learning. All these scriptures was before 2025. Prophecies that's going to come to pass was before 2025. So you have to live of the past to understand what your future going to be. So again, Yahawashi is coming with the reward. So of course you're gonna get 100-fold, right? Of course you're gonna have order, right? The women, you're gonna be like Sarai, right? Let's go to Genesis again, where Sarai told Abraham to lay with the concubine. The whole point I'm going here is to show you're gonna have servants, right? This is Genesis 16:1. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abraham, behold, now Yahawah have restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarai. Man, he hearkened. He went to go get that cookie, right? Because it's just a woman. Women were created for men. Let alone the main point is that he's about to plant seed. He about to plant a seed. It's gonna be for his pleasure. Back then, women wanted a man's child, especially a son. And this time, yes, it's we promote the pleasure more than having descendants for that man. Oh yeah, let's get freaky. We promote that more than having children. In this side, guess what? We're about to get that reward back, where we're gonna have the enjoyment of planting a seed instead of nutting on a woman's back or doing this or doing that. You're gonna be happy to plant children, man. Any woman you touch, a brother like in the world where they call cheating, where it's not cheating, where you lay with another woman and you got her pregnant, you got a whole nother girl. In the kingdom, it's not gonna matter, right? A woman's gonna be happy that man get to build his empire because he's going to be fruitful. Fruitful. Can't be fruitful with just one. A man is he's gonna be able to have that back. That's another reward, being fruitful and multiplying. The man has 1,000,000 sperm, right? Let's actually check how many sperms do a man have in his McNuggets, right? That's another reward. Brother, you gonna have kids, kids, kids. And brothers is not gonna be ashamed to have children. And this side, we a little ashamed or something. Well, I'm trying to think of my career. Even if you got money and you die, who's gonna take after your business? You're gonna give it to a whole nother. In this side, your money get taken from the government, right? A lot of us don't build wills, you know, financial generational wealth, even though that shit doesn't even matter. Because what if your child don't understand this truth, but they got $1,000,000 in the bank because of your will? That's still not beneficial, right? We want to have general wealth spiritually, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. What it's saying, Sirach, the 30th chapter, I think 5 or 6, it says, when a man teacheth his son, he grieveth the enemy. That's more better than riches, man. Um, um, So how much sperm do men produce? It says daily production, your testicles make several million sperm a day, approximately 1,500 per second. Variable sperm out of this large number, about 50 to 100 million, become viable sperm daily. Total production cycle, by the end of a full sperm productive cycle, you can regenerate up to 8 billion sperm. The amount of sperm produced daily can vary based on individual factors like genetics or age. But so on and so on, it said uh, a man producing millions of sperm. And that's roughly 1,500 per second. Come on, a woman is not even not lucky if a woman is getting twins like Rebecca. We're lucky if a wife get twins. But how is she going to be fruitful? How is a man going to be fruitful? He's going to be planting his seed in soil. He's going to be putting his key in different locks, right? We can go the example of the kingdom was Solomon, man, right? And we're still talking about Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 15, right? Where is it at? Let me just look for it quicker right here. I think it's right. Is this the one I want? Okay, this is First Kings chapter 11. Yeah, the Heavenly Father's name is Yahawah, and his son name is Yahawashi. Plain and simple. It would do you greater good to learn the detailed history of all in truth, even better to be blessed by learning Torah. Yeah, if you telling me that, I got a question for you. Um, Jeremiah 50 verse 33. When did that happen? Jeremiah 50:33. Before you answer and say anything else, answer that question. We can see what kind of mind you at. This is what I want to read. This was 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 2. Verse 1 shows you that Solomon was in love. Solomon loved many strange women. He had Pharaoh's daughter, an Egyptian, a Moabite, an Ammonite, an Edomite, um, Zidonians, and Hittites. Verse 2 of the nations concerning which Yahawah said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their God. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Those wives that turned away his heart was the ones in verse 1, right? Really the heathens that he actually fell in love with. But in verse 3, the main point why I came here is that he had 700 wives, princesses, which is really Israelite women, and he had 300 concubines, which is a lesser wife. So he had 1,000 women. That is symbolic to what the kingdom is going to be, because let's go to another verse what the Lord said in the book of Exodus. You can go to these verses too. Don't take my word for it. It's Exodus 19 and 6. It says, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Right? So what is kingdom? Kingship. Kingship start under Hamashiach Yahawashi, and we're going to be a kingdom of priests, and a kingdom of priests. Wait, hold on. That's not giving me the actual one I want. Before I get Revelations. 1 and 6. Salaki. It's one of them that I'm actually looking for. Maybe that was the one. Salaki family. It's another one. It might come back to me. But if you go to Revelations 1 and 6, it say it there too. No, all of Solomon's wives was not wicked. It was only the heathen woman that he cleaved to. Because when you look at Solomon, the time of David and Solomon, Israel was actually following the Lord because they had righteous kings. Solomon fell because of his other wives were worshiping other idols. A concubine is a lesser wife. When it said princesses, those are the Israelites. The Israelite women were actually following the Lord. It was the heathen women. The Israelites, when they were under Solomon, men and women, they were actually following the Lord. It says Israel was at peace for 40 years. When you go to Judith, the 5th chapter, you find out in verse 20, when we sin, the other nations ruin us. They overcome us. But if we don't sin, if there's no iniquity within us, the Lord is with us, right? So why in the time of Solomon for 40 years, no nation came to overpower them? Because Israel wasn't in sin in the time of Solomon. It's just Solomon fell because of his heathen wives, right? But again, this is Revelations 1 and 6. It says, let's start at verse 5. It says, in Yahawashi Hamashiach, who is the faithful witness in the first begotten of the dead, in the prince of the kings of the earth. Who's the kings of the earth? The men of Israel, starting with the elect, 144,000. It says, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, have made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. So when we go back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, our reward is with Yahawashi. He's going to give us that reward. What did it say? It says, and the righteous live forever, and their reward also is with Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Us being kings and priests, men are going to have full authority, right? Women are going to fully play their role. Ain't no jealousy, no emulation. Children going to be fruitful. You're going to be able to enjoy your children. Your children are going to literally be able to have fun, right? Ain't no pedophiles. Kids is staying out late at night. Kids is going to have glorified bodies. Their mind is going to be in tune. Playing with dangerous animals, right? We're going to be at peace. We're going to be like young Adams, right? What is it? Zechariah. I think it's, Zechariah 12. Let me get that too, right? These are all rewards. This is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. It says, in that day shall Yahawah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. David was a mighty man, right? It says, in the house of David shall be as God, and as the angel of Yahawah before them, right? An angel is a messenger, but what did angels do? They ascend and descend from the heavens into earth. So we're going to be able to leave this firmament just like the angels. We're going to be able to go to the different mansions that's in the Heavenly Father's house, which is his creation, right? But it says that we're going to be as God. So let's look up that word in the blue letter, which is the same word that goes with Genesis 1 and 1. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. Let's look up that word, shall be as God. We're not going to be the Most High. We're going to be like the Elohim, which is rulers. We're going to be rulers of the whole earth. We're going to rule, brothers, you're going to rule your household. You're going to be judges over all the nations, and the 12 is going to be judging the whole 12 tribes and 144,000. You are a part of that government. You're going to be divine ones, angels, and gods, man. Angels, Michael, the archangel, Gabriel, they got powers. So we're gonna be like angels. We're gonna be like God, right? We're gonna be rulers, judges, and we're gonna be divine ones. Let's look up divine. Let's just look up. Uh, so I'm just looking up a word. Um, Salaki. So a divine being, what kind of powers would what power do divine ones have? Divine beings often refer to as deities or divine ones, are typically believed to possess a range of powerful abilities, including manipulations of fundamental forces or manipulation of elements, which the elder apostles and the brothers, a great millstone and affiliates, they always speak on, spiritual powers, creation, destruction, and control over reality itself. These powers can manifest in various forms, from manipulating elements, energy, to bestowing blessings or curses. Deuteronomy 28, we're going to have curses upon the other nations. Um, we're going to be, what is it called? Joint heirs with Yahawashi, the elect. And joint heirs of Yahawashi is just going with like Psalms 110, verse 1. Yahawashi has to sit on the right hand of the Heavenly Father till he make his enemies his footstool. Joint heirs, the enemies of the Lord is going to be our footstool. We're going to be ruling them. We're going to devour those that devour us. That's being joint heirs. Yahawah said we're going to do greater things than what he have done. He's going to allow us, because Jake, we like to flash, we like to flex. We're going to be able to flex the things that the Lord have given us, right? We're going to be able to manipulate elements. This is how the earth and everything got created, manipulating elements. The Lord didn't break it down in a plain way for you to understand. You have to be able to dissect the scriptures. How did it say God made the heavens and the earth? Those are the judges, the rulers, the divine ones, the angels, and the gods, which is Yahawashi, the elect, starting with the 144,000, and the other angels created everything in the heavens and in the earth. Things that the stuff that we breathe, the flowers that we see, the animals, we helped Yahawashi make those things. And how we did it? With the elements. When Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, when he told Lot and them not to look back, the angels was using elements and throwing down those fires, man. Right? It's amazing. That's part of the reward. Right? You women, you going to get back your beauty. The Judite women, Isaiah 3, that shit is going to be cut off. You're going to have your long hair, right? However you was made for your husband, you're going to be gorgeous. Ain't no more ugly women. Jake, you are going to be so beautiful, right? Instead of a man looking at another man's woman, he's going to have many women. We just seen a man produce 1 million sperm. Then he get it back again the next day. No women is planting children after children. Come on, man. So it's so much for you men and you women. Now, for you women being in order, you are a reward to the man, because if the Lord did not create women for Adam, create Eve for Adam, if we didn't need you, you wouldn't be created. But he created you women for men, for our pleasure, right? So that's a beautiful thing, man, right? We're going to get back that reward of having our women in order. No Eve is going somewhere else to get understanding, right? We're gonna get everything back. That's part of that reward, right? That is part of that reward. Hold on one second. Oh, shoot. Right? That is part of that reward. Salaki. Let me see something. Right? That is part of that reward. Gotta make sure y'all see me because I know I'll be dark. Right? That is part of that reward. Let me see what this man said. He said, he is an avatar of a black man, a great prophet of Torah. 235 AD, Rome, Constantine, the great document in history. You are unlearned. Brother, go make a video. That's what you need to do. Go make a video. I asked you a question. You didn't even answer it. I asked you, what is Jeremiah 50, verse 33? Scriptures say, be ready to answer a question. So if I'm asking, you're not asking me nothing. So I'm asking you a question. Answer, when did Jeremiah 50 and 33 happen? If you can give me that answer, we can have a conversation. Other than that, you're wasting your time. So if you can't answer if you're not going to answer the question, you're going to be removed you're going to be removed. So I'm giving you one chance. Answer Jeremiah 50, verse 33. When did that happen? Right? Again, so it was multiple examples we can go into about the reward. You even got the crown that you're going to get. But let's continue. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahawah Shemashai's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. Right? And that true arm the Lord is protecting us is Hamashiach Yahawashi. But what I first want to get is that he said we will receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand, right? The first thing before we even get the kingdom, which I believe is in Revelations 21, where he talks about the new city of Jerusalem comes down from the heaven. That's the elect. But you get your crown first. Right? We get our crown first. Yeah. So let's go into the crown first. The second Ezra, chapter 2. You know, this is a desire. The things that we seeing that's going on in the news, things that's going on overseas, you know, if all these things is happening, that means we're getting close. That's us getting close to us getting our salvation. Right? You still posting something. You supposed to be answering Jeremiah 50 and 33. Again, I'm giving you one more chance and you getting removed. Answer Jeremiah 50 and 33. What is that talking about? If you got a Bible, you got it on your phone, go open up Jeremiah 50 and 33 and answer the question. When did that happen? Right? And he's talking about the remnant. The remnant is the elect. Right? Those that believe and have faith. It's all the elect. Right? This is Second Ezra chapter 2, starting at 42. This is a vision of Ezra seeing. This is the end time vision that Ezra is seeing. It says, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number. And they all praised Yahawashi Shemashai with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon the head of every one he placed a crown, and was ever more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. Right? So he placed a crown on their head, on all the elect men, and was ever more exalted. Right? He put a crown on them and exalting Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, man. He said, I don't answer to devils. I keep Torah, Aramaic, and Hebrew. I forgot. Yeah, you a bug out if you saying it like that. All right, brother. Lord willing, you get to go eat a tater tot or a Pop Tart. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. Yeah, you're gone, bro. So yeah, so he placed a crown on their head, and he said, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he answered and said unto them, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on immortal, and have confessed the name of God. What's the name of God? The Heavenly Father is Yahawah, and the Son is Yahawashi. They confessed him on the earth. Now are they crowned and receive palms. He already seeing the end. So that means it's already happening. If the Lord gave him a vision of seeing it, it already happened. It's already done. We just living this thing out, right? He said, then I asked the angel, who is the young man that crowneth them? And he gaveth them palms in their hands. And he answered and said unto me, he is God's son, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them who stood so firmly for the name of the Lord. Right? When you go to Sirach 17 and 10, it says the elect praised his holy name. His name is set apart. The holy in Hebrew is Kodash, right? Kodash is set apart. His name is set apart from all other names. He is set apart from all other beliefs, all other gods, right? So they're praising his holy name, which is Yahawah, Yahawashi. No, Yeshua, Yahweh, Yeshua, Jesus, God, Lord. None of those is his name, right? Lord, especially Lord and God are really substitute name. Lord is just another way you would call somebody Adawan, right? King, right? God, we can see the meaning of God. Elohim, judges. But we talking about his name. Like, what is your name? My name is Kevin or Keith. That's your name. All these other things is titles. But what is his name? When you go into Hebrew, words, name, they all mean something, because in Hebrew, words mean something. If my name is Adar Gabar, you can see my channel, it means noble warrior. And that's Hebrew. So Yahawashi means he saves or he delivers. Yahawah, he is or he exists. So guess what? They're standing stiffly for that name, right? So they're gonna get that beautiful crown. This is what we want. This is what you want. You want this. You want to desire this, right? Let's go to Isaiah 59 and 17. This is Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59 and 17, it says, outside at 16, it says, and he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garment of vengeance for clothing and was clad with zeal of cloth. Right? And this goes into Hamashiach Yahawashi. Because Hamashiach Yahawashi, when he even comes back, he's not going to meet the earth as a man. He's going to come in his glorified form. Right? And even when we talk about let me see, the right hand he shall cover them, and with his right arm shall he protect them. All right, so when we go back to Wisdom of Solomon, where it says his right hand shall cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them, right? Our protection, when we go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter, is that the armor, putting the armor of the Lord on, right? Let's get that, right? This spiritual armor is from the Heavenly Father, man, right? And this is why we use these scriptures to sharpen ourselves, you know, to prepare ourselves when we out in the community, to prepare ourselves when we going back and forth with hard-headed Jake, right? Just like this man, he keeps saying Torah, Torah, which, hey, we believe in the whole Bible. See, yeah, you promoting the Torah, but what about Yahawashi? What about the prophets, right? And there's a lot of Jake that's only Torah only, and we in this time right now. Right? If you ain't dealing with the prophets, how you clearly know that America is what you just using Deuteronomy 28 and 68? What's going to happen to this so-called Babylon? How can you call this place Mystery Babylon if it's not called Mystery Babylon in the Torah? You know, a lot of brothers is taken away from the ministry or taken away from the word, right? And if you don't believe in the Son, you ain't exalting the Son, right, or manifesting the Son, you're not connected to the Heavenly Father, right? So this is Ephesians chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." This is how he protects you. This is how he cover you, because you're putting on his armor. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So you need that spiritual armor to overcome the things that's in um, spiritual principalities in high places on the left-hand side. This the armor we need that's going to help us overcome that. It says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil in the evil day, and having done all to stand." That evil day is coming, which leads to the hour of temptation. Right? When the famine of the word come, ain't no more teachers, man. The brothers ain't teaching y'all no more. If you ain't getting it, it's over with. That mercy door closed, and then while the MOTB is coming forth in Jacob trouble, is going to be worse. So everything that you're doing right now, while everything is in motion, your TV working, your tablet working, every day you should be putting that armor on. Every day you should be afflicting the flesh by doing certain things spiritual. Now, some brothers, some men or women got a different, stronger stride in this thing. Like it is some women that stay occupied with garments and certain things being a woman, right? Or you might have a woman that's always reading or teaching children. Everybody got a different talent or a strength, but you're supposed to make sure yourself is occupied in spiritual things. It helps keep you away from trouble. It helps keep you away from having negative thoughts, right? We do have moments where we want to enjoy time, but then you have moments where it is the Lord created certain brothers or sisters where they're always doing something spiritual. They're always trying to have spiritual conversations, right? Brothers might want to be around their brothers more than people in their household, right? Because it's different. When I'm always around my brothers, it's always a spiritual conversation. Every day, all day, every time. With them for 6 hours on Saturday, about 6 hours. Brothers is always talking about spiritual things. When we not around each other, we in the chat, spiritual things. Even if it comes to something about sports or the world or something, it always go back to spiritual things, right? You don't get that a lot with your children. You might not get that all the time with your wife, right? Because you got other needs that you gotta pertain to. But you want to always examine yourself to always make sure that you're speaking of the Lord, because those principalities is always looking for your weak spot. So 13, it says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand." Right? The armor of God. It says, "And stand therefore, having your loins girt," which is your loins is really your mind, girt about with the truth, your mind. Your loin is your heart. You want your heart to be girded with the truth. And having on the breastplate of righteousness, right? And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, right? And how beautiful is the feet of them um that have the gospel, right? Which truly is the men of the Lord, right? And even of you other brothers and sisters that have faith in this thing. It says, "Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked," right? And they might be attacking you, like when brothers be having nightmares, or a brother was getting attacked by a demon, which he knew his main thought was calling on the name of the Lord. And that's where faith come in. When you get in trouble or something good happen, you call on Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. These is the armors that we must put on. And this is how the Lord is fighting for us, right? Let alone if the Lord is sealing the instructions for you, you're going to always apply this armor wherever you at. Out of town, in town, this place, that place, or even when you at work, right? It says, "And take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God," right? So always this word, man, faith, this word, the shield, right? The gospel, it says praying always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit, watching thereunto with all perverse perseverance and supplication for all saints, right? Praying is part of that armor. You should be making sure you praying. Now, sometimes you might schedule 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, however you doing, whatever works for you, make sure you praying, right? We want to have that faith like a mustard seed. Like the seed is in this necklace right here, right here. You might not be able to see it, but you got to have that faith constantly and add more into your prayer. Not saying the same thing all the time. Add more to your prayer. You see war coming, you see destruction over here, ask the Lord, hey, bring a missile this way. Lord, please cancel the power, right? Lord, please strengthen me. Please allow me to remember or meditate on certain verses. Please allow your fear, please allow me to be more terrified of you. Please allow me to respect you, right? So if I do certain things, I check myself before I wreck myself. Please allow me to take correction. However it works, add it in your prayers, right? Sometimes you might do a prayer for 2 minutes. Make sure you're sincere about it, right? Let's get 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 8. It says, let us who are of the day, which is the light, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love. That love is a deed, which is the action, and truth, which is Yahawashi, which is this word, and for a helmet and hope of salvation. Right? So you want to put on this breastplate, this faith, this love. You want to put on this helmet. You want to put on this hope of salvation. Right? Hope is something that you can't see, but through the Spirit, you're able to see salvation is coming close. Israel and them is bombing, right? Donald Duck is kicking immigrants out. Donald Duck is afflicting the Northern Kingdom, soon afflicting the Southern Kingdom. You got Gorilla over here getting the best gospel album, but she over here talking about being a slut, this and that, drugs, money, all this other dumb stuff. Guess what? The Lord is showing salvation is near, right? When we go to the rest of this chapter, when you read verse 23 in the GNT, right? When the kingdom has lewdness or evil is increased in the kingdom, that will be the fall. Evil is increasing in this world. Evil is increasing in Babylon, right? Let's go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. Daniel 7:18, it says, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, right? Kingship, even forever and ever, right? Supremacy, right? We're going to be the top dogs, right? Because we're going to take the kingdom, not borrow it, not ask for it. We're going to take it. You know, I don't know if some of y'all might be too young. Y'all might not know when back then when you was in the world, you was doing Halloween and they had take your candy. We're taking this, man. Right? You see, what was the movie? I think Home Alone. I think it was. Maybe I might be wrong. Where the kid had something and he took it. I might be wrong. But we want to take this kingdom from these nations, man. Right? I want to get something else that made me think of something else. Right? Proverbs, what is it? Proverbs 21. I might be wrong. It might be Proverbs 29. Right, Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. People are going to rejoice when we are in rulership. That's why we have to take it. We have to take this thing, not borrow it. Take it. You got to take it. You know when you in love, your love be like, take it. You got to take this. We got to take this kingdom, man. Right? We got to take it. Right? It said that the saints of the Most High, which is the faithful. And it goes back to, I think, Psalms 50:5, I believe, where the saints are those that made a sacrifice unto the Lord. And that goes back into ancient time. It was the Israelites. So the saints is those that are faithful, right, to Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi. We're going to take the kingdom, right? Let's get a few of these precepts. Let me mark that for Wisdom of Solomon. Let me use my digital device so we can make this quicker, right? The first joint we going to go to, like you always gotta mark. You gotta mark certain things, man. Right? Might have to use something. Might have to come across something. You might have to use it for a lesson. Right? This is Psalms 149 in verse 5. 5 to 9, it says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory, and let them sing aloud upon their beds." Right? Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hands, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bid their kings with chains and their nobles, right, with fetters of iron, right? Dealing with the elites, the nobles, right, the so-called men of war, or the like we could say presidents, government, a state, right? People of politics, right? Leaders, right? It says to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. This haven't happened yet, man. We're gonna bid all our adversaries with chains, right? Let me get another side one. I believe it's Jeremiah 30 and 16. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Right? So we're going to devour those that devoured us. We're going to spoil those that spoiled us. Right? And we ain't, oh my goodness, we shouldn't do this, man. We're going to do it with joy, man. Right? We're going to do it with joy. Isaiah 60, 12 to 14. It says, "For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree and the pine tree and the box together, to beautify the place of thy sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious." Right? And uh multiple, we could look at that as Israel, but then you got heaven is my throne, but earth is my footstool. The Lord is going to make the earth glorious. That even goes even with Revelations 21, a new heaven and a new earth. It's not saying the Lord going to destroy the whole earth and make a new one. No, new means afresh. Everything is going to be afresh. It's going to be a fresh start. Second Esdras 9, 6 and 9. Esau's the end of the world. He's the end of this time. He's going to be the destruction of this time. And Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So the beginning is going to be afresh. It's going to be new. It's going to be a new foundation, a new management. The earth is going to be under new management. It's going to be fully under Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi. All nations are going to serve Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi under the Israelites. Ain't no new gods, ain't no false gods. Everybody on the earth is going to know that Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi is the only true power. So every nation is going to yield back to the one true power. When you go back to Daniel 7 and verse 14, it says, "And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, in his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed." People use this and say salvation is for everybody. No, salvation is for Israel being saved. They're going to have glorified bodies, and other nations is not. Right? Well, whatever kingdom is ruling, all nations serve that kingdom. Make it make sense. So all nations is going to serve under Hamashiach Yahawashi, man. Right? And Yahawashi's dominion is going to be an everlasting dominion. It will never end. Nobody will ever be able to take it, let alone we're going to have glorified bodies. Nobody going to be able to stop us, man. Yahawashi is going to be dwelling in the earth. He's going to be able to come and go like he want. The elect is going to be able to come and go like they want. Even the angels is, man. Right? We're going to have a new body, which is going to put both. It's going to be an earthly, A earthly and a spiritual body, man. Right? A destructible body. What's that? 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. Right? This is another reward. I want my reward. I don't know about y'all. I want mine. Right? This is 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. This is speaking about your temple, this body right here, right? It says, for in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven, right? This body is so freaking weak. We groan and desire for that earthly body, right? I don't know about y'all, but I know the elect, they want that glorified body. They want the kingdom to come today. We wanted to come yesterday, right? It says, if so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked, right? Naked, you got naked like nakedness and sin. It says, for we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon that immortality might be swallowed up of life. Immortality in us. Immortality in us, the elect, the saints. All you other nations is not having immortality. If we devouring you, how you gonna have immortality, man? Right? Well, what is that gonna do for us? Right? It says now that he have wrote us for the self same thing is God, who also have given unto us the earnest of the spirit, which is the Rakak Wadash. And to have that immortality, we're going to be like Yahawashi, who's in the heavens with the Heavenly Father. The elect are going to be joint heirs with him. Joint heirs, immortality, never dying, having powers, right? Having all the knowledge. And knowledge is going to be endless for the Israelites, man. It says, therefore, we are always confident knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord, right? Fully confident that we would rather be absent from this body to be fully with the Lord, right? Yes, we with the Lord in spirit, but when we get this new body, we're going to be with the Lord fully because he's going to be dwelling within us. Come on. Wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Really, we're right here, right? We're right here before the judgment seat of Hamashiach Yahawashi, truly, right? Because when you look at Ecclesiastes, it says, under the sun is a place of judgment, and the earth is the Heavenly Father's footstool, right? And he's sitting on the high seat, seeing everything that even when you go up in the spirit world to the Father, when he send you back to the earth, this is judgment, man. Right? So your grandmother, your auntie, your mom, your cousin, your brother, if they come back on the earth, this is judgment, man. And guess what? You're not going to even know if that's your auntie or not. This is judgment. Coming back in this weak ass body, right? Having to deal with getting afflicted. But when you were in the spirit world, you at peace. Even if you wicked or if you not. If you of the elect in the spirit world right now, you at peace, right? You already know that this is true. You know that that was fake and that was false. You're not drinking wine. You're not having because drinking wine with the Lord is in the kingdom on earth. So when you get sent back on the earth, righteous or non-righteous, the elect, they got brought back on the earth. This is a judgment, right? So yes, this is another reward, man. Getting that glorified body, right? This is what we should be desiring, that glorified body, man. Right? So we was going to Daniel. We actually went to a couple. We could have went to more, but let's just keep it nice and short. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. It says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Right? right? When you read the NLT, it says, God blesses those who are poor and realize their need for him, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs, right? The true poor in spirit, they need Yahawah Ba'ashim Yahawashi, right? They're calling, man, I can't do this without him, right? Verse 10 in the KJV, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, right? Those that's getting persecuted falsely, right? Verse 11, blessed are ye when men shall revile and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, right? You're blessed, right? Oh, I think it's First Peter, right? The angels is looking, seeing how you overcoming these things. Shoot, they want to see you get an unexpected end. All the shit that you had to deal with on this side. Blesses those that endure to the end. Blesses those that's reading. Blesses those that's hearing it. Blesses those that's doing it. Right? Because we supposed to live this thing out. We supposed to walk this thing out while we on the earth so that we can get that crown. Right? Let's go to Luke. I think Luke, the 12th chapter, verse 32. It says, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's great pleasure to give you the kingdom. Right? That's why we should be seeking the kingdom first. Seeking the kingdom within yourself. Right? What is that? Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter, verse 20. It says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Right? You have to desire the wisdom of Yahawah Shem Shai. It bringeth to the kingdom. Because the more wisdom you get, the more you apply within your life, the more you're sharpening up, the more better you are, the more faith you get. Look, this whole thing, we occupy in this truth. You not even look, I go to work and I'm focused on, let me hear the word. Day 1 of work go past. Day 2 work go past. Day 3 work go past. Day 4 work go past. And then I'm out of work. Then camp comes. Then I'm able to sit down and really read. And then sometimes I go, look, I'm walking out getting some air because I need it. I want my mind to be the way it is. Sometimes I want my family not to be around me so that they can, where they mind at when I'm not around, right? Where my wives ain't got to worry, did I eat, did I drink, this and this and that, so that they can be women, so that they can maintain themselves with the children. Because we all want to be able to make ourselves worthy unto Yahawah Ba'ashim Yahawashi. We all want to make sure that we be in a light, a motivation of one another, right? Because to get the kingdom, it's a lot, man. Right? But the elect, you get it, you're going to do it. And then it's going to seem like it's not a lot because it's the same routine over and over again. Brother, oh man, y'all doing the same lesson over. Guess what? We got this. Yahawashi come back. You got to bring it out again. You got to refresh those muscles. You gotta itch their ear. It's like a dog. You itch their ear, they tail or they foot get up, and it just be feeling good. And when you stop, they run back to you because they want you to do it again. Or a cat, when they grind their body on you, that it just feels good to them. Each lesson shift is going to feel good to the elect, right? And this goes into our reward, right? It's the Lord's good pleasure to give them the kingdom. That's their reward. Peace. The kingdom, I want that, man. Half of us don't even rule our house. Half of y'all don't even rule you, right? Some brothers right now, you be like, you get dressed, and you about to go, where you going? How long you gonna be? Then you come home, ain't shit going on, right? You can't even go and do you. It's like you a whole child. You gotta tell somebody where you going. You gotta tell them how long you going, right? Like you gotta have permission. We are not real kings most of the time in our own house. And then because you might be enjoying yourself with your brothers, you might be enjoying yourself with people you know, and oh man, I'm stuck with it. Guess what? You wanted to have kids. Guess what? If you see me getting my hands dirty for the Lord, I gotta study. I gotta study. I gotta sharpen myself. What is you doing to make sure that you getting your crown right? What is you doing to make sure that you show the Lord that you believe in Him? Right? A lot of us is occupied in different ways. To the men, you're basically to be occupied is this truth, right? Or having conversations. Women, they're occupied in the faith too, right? By their faith, and let alone the thing how they treat their children, how they build their house, and how they're catering to their man, or how they listening to their man, Those things, and what you do for the ministry, making brothers garments, maybe make them some food, right? Those things is what a woman should continue to do, right? All those other things that we do, that's a side thing. But the things that the Lord is looking at for us men and women to make ourselves worthy. Women maintain and build the house. Make sure it's in order the way that your husband like it. Let alone paying attention, having all your attention on your children, right? You already catering and comforting to your man what he need. Maybe he might not need us, so then you good, right? Of course, you might have a physical need. That's good and done. But then you doing something for the ministry. You might see a brother, a garment messed up. Hey, let me make that. You might be making shirts in a certain way. Hey, yo, I made this print shirt for you brothers, right? Those things you're doing for the ministry. You might be like, yo, I'm cooking a meal. You brothers been doing work day in and day out. Hey, I made dinner for you boys. You know, me and the sisters got together, we made dinner. Or after camp, you know, you tell your husband to come get these plates and you giving the plates to the brother. Those things the Lord is looking at, man. All the other things that you might do off emotions and feelings, those things don't help you get in the kingdom. But the things that pertain to these scriptures, how you supposed to be a mother, how you supposed to be a wife, how you supposed to be a sister, how you supposed to be a husband, how you supposed to be a brother, right? Those things is what the Lord is looking at us for. Love your brother like you love yourself. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, right? It's a daily thing trying to please the Lord, man. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 9. She shall give to thy head an ornament of grace, and a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Right? Physically, it's going to be Yahawashi giving you a crown, man. Not no fitted gorilla. A crown of being a real king. Right? A real king. Let alone when we look at the talents, the pounds. The Lord gave 5 pounds to one, and then he doubled it. He gave him, hey, if you double up, guess what? I'm going to give you 5 cities. I'm going to give you 4 cities. The Lord is going to have the men as rulers, man. That's what you want to desire. That's what you want to pursue, right? That's getting the kingdom, right? First Peter's chapter 5, verse 4, it says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away, right? In the NLT, it says, when the great shepherd, which is Hamashiach Yahawashi, appears, you will receive a crown of never-ending glory and honor. Come on, man. And it's never going to fade away. It just goes into the example of your honor and your glory is never going to fade away, right? Your rulership, right, is never going to fade away because Israel is going to be a high mountain, right? How long the Lord said, that's how long you rule it. You ruling forever, ever, 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 ever. Never falling again. Never no captivity. You know when they say never, when it comes to this truth, we can say never, never, ever. Lord's will, we are that number, man. That is amazing. The 2/3 gonna come back like babies. Know they shame, know what they done, but guess what? They're gonna still be a part of that high mountain. The least in the kingdom is going to be greater than John. So they still going to have it good. But you should be pursuing to be of the elect, those that get delivered. Bing, 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 you get picked up, man. That's what this is about. Pursue it, mark it, date it, right? This is the plot. This is the plan. Get on the chariot. Get on your spiritual, physical art, which is that chariot. When you get in them chariots, it's over. It's done. It's a done dealy. You know, even in Jacob's trouble, where you getting fed, you gotta always think, yo, the Lord providing this, right? No harm coming to you. Hey, the Lord providing this, right? It's Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahawashi. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies, right? Creatures goes into humans, and animals, right? The Lord is going to be doing amazing things in the spirit, right? Spirit, even spirits on the left-hand side is going to be in people, especially in the day of the Lord, especially in Jacob's trouble, is spirits created for vengeance. Brothers, that's not of this thing. Some of y'all gonna get caught up with certain spirits, and you're gonna do it. Look, you're gonna to women. Grape is gonna happen. Jacob's trouble. Eating kids is gonna happen in Jacob's trouble. right? People, yo, it's going to get real in Jacob's trouble. Before the Lord come, the earth is going to already be kindled in fire, right? It's going to already be in chaos. Then when he come, those nukes is dropping simultaneously. Verse 18, it says, he shall put on righteous as a breastplate and true judgment instead of an helmet, right? Which goes back, I believe, to Isaiah 59. It says, he shall take holiness for an invisible shield. His severe wrath shall his severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Right? That world, you go to G&T, it says nature. Right? So it's going to be some miraculous things happen in the day of the return of Hamashiach Yahawashi. Right? When we go to Psalms, the 7th chapter, in verse 12, it says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready. Right? It says, he have also prepared for him the instruments of death. What's the instruments of death? The ICBM missiles. Right? The supersonic booms. It says, he ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Right? So the wicked, the wicked is making their weapons. Yes, it's to destroy the 2/3 and, the rest of, whoever is dealt for. But these weapons is going to be the destruction of their kingdom. Right? And they think it's for the good. Everybody like, oh, we got missiles. Guess what? The joke is on you. The Lord made you make those for your own destruction. This is Psalms 104, verse 6. Cast forth lightning and scatter them. Shoot out thy arrows and destroy them. Right? What is these arrows, man? Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. No, the 16th chapter. Right? These arrows ain't going to miss. These arrows is not going to turn back. Right? Let's see. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Starting at verse 10, it says, he shall cast lightnings, who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yahawah Shema Shai shall threaten, who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quakeneth, and the foundations thereof, and the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before Yahawah Shema Shai, before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. What's the ends of the world? America, the Western Hemisphere. This is the ends of the world. When you go to Acts 1 and 6, no, Acts 1 and 9, the uttermost part of the earth is the end of the earth, or the end of the world. Right? These arrows is going to be shooting this way and that way, this way and that way. Right? It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. What is those plagues? The ICBM missiles. Right? And the after effect of those missiles is like, it's going to be better that you're in hiding, because the radiation level is going to be so high. Right? It says, the fire is kindled. It shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. Right? Let's go to Luke, the 12th chapter. What did Yahawashi say? Luke chapter 12. Verse 49. It says, I will come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? Guess what? Even if it's kindled, he said he's coming with fire. Right? He's coming with fire. It just said, it's like Ezra 16:15, the fire is kindled. So before Yahawashi come, the fire is gonna already be lit over here, man. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plague that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, woe is me. Who would deliver me in those days? Right? Let's go to first Peter. Who's going to deliver? Ezra speaking. but through the Spirit, Ezra is speaking on behalf of the Israelites. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. Right? Verse 17, the point is 18. It says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God, which is this truth, those that's not true and sincere. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, which is difficult, or barely saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So the righteous, because he said, woe is me, right? Who's going to deliver me in those days? It's Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. But he's going to scarcely save the elect. Right? Right? That's better than nothing. Getting scarcely saved, getting hardly barely. Like how close this pin is. That's getting scarcely saved. Or you see in the missile high in the air, and it's no, you still didn't get beamed up, and it's still coming closer and closer. It might be 1,000 miles in the air, maybe 100, maybe 200 miles in the air, and you get saved. That's better than nothing. You gotta understand. Even though Jacob trouble, famine of the word, MOTB, all these things come. Remember, the elect, the righteous are going to get scarcely saved, scarcely, barely. Right? My brother's wife, my sister, had a dream that she said, look, man, I had a dream and I seen that the wives, the women, even the children is going to be a burden to you men, right? A burden. Women might not be able to go to walk the distance. Shoot, they might see death and crying the whole time they can't. And then they really think they tough on this side. And you see a man like, hey, it is. We might be sad or upset, but we still moving. We still moving. The minute of the Lord this is in game. In game. You want to get your emotions and fears intact. You want to have that courage spirit, because some are going to get sifted out this truth. Some are going to curse the Lord because their kid's leg got amputated, got cut right off. Right? Now, but the elect gonna be covered. Truly, the elect gonna be covered. Like those that are appointed to get murdered, you're appointed to get murdered. That was your lot. But those that's of the elect, a lot of y'all gonna be covered. A lot of y'all gonna be hidden. But it's things that you're gonna see. Some of family members you might see be taken that you truly love. You're gonna have to hold on, man. Right? Verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Trust in the Lord, don't doubt. That goes down to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, which we can go down to in verse 75. It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide. Right? Don't doubt, because you seeing these things, all this is happening. Don't doubt. You want to put it in your mind. This was meant to happen. For you to get the kingdom, the worst, it has to happen. Right? This is nothing. I'm still doing a video. We're there. We're not there yet. Right? We're almost there. Every day you want to put it in a realization, man. Right? Even when I give me a little sip, a little drink, yo, it's in my mind when I be like, yo, I'm about to go for a ride. Sometimes I do that. I might do that tonight, go for a ride, even listen to music. I still be stuck just thinking. The things that I see Jake doing in this world, do not have a damn clue. Still seeing people picking up cigarette butts off the ground and smoking it. Seeing how Jake fiend, where the weed at? There's nobody got weed. Jake can't go a day without weed. Women, their mindset, a girl that's working a 9 to 5 saying a man gotta have 6 figures to date her. You work a 9 to 5. They do not know what's about to happen. Jake is talking about Pride Month, Juneteenth. Niggas just posted on some. Juneteenth was trash. It always been trash because you still a slave. Half of y'all don't even know what it's about, right? A lot of our people can't see because that's their lot. And we're still here. Sometimes you need a moment to look. I got babies. They don't even know what's going on. Sometimes I got to walk away and be like, look, they don't even know what's going on. And they kids. And guess what? The Lord gave you these kids to be a light unto them. Let alone that gives a chance to bring, like, so many women are going to die on the side. I'm just being honest. But the elect women is going to be more elect women than men. Women outnumber us even when you add all nations, because that's women were made to bring forth to bear children, for you to bang bang boogie and plant your seed. So some of your daughters is those elect women that are gonna get beamed up. Most likely might be a grown woman at that time, have her glorified body, or still be a child. However, the Lord make that work, and she's gonna be a wife. She's gonna be a wife, man. So your wife is raising the elect women. That's why you should be sitting down, understanding what the Lord blessed you with. Bless you with a daughter where you raising the elect women. How you treat your husband, you got to know that this woman, this little daughter, don't even have. She's not even dating nobody. Your little teenager, she might not be with no dude. Everything that you do is gonna be installed in them. Shit is about to get real, man. Literally. Right? I'm gonna read a few more of these and we're gonna go back to Wisdom of Solomon. Verse 19 in 2 Ezra 16, it says, behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sore famine, great confusion. What's that? First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. Right? Victuals is going to be so dumb cheap. Right now, things is going up. In a minute, you're going to see a high decrease where things is going to look cheap. So that hearing people, they spend $100, $200 on food in the cart, look like they didn't get shit. That's not it. We're not at that moment yet. Soon it's gonna start. They're gonna try to make it seem like it's looking good. Look, 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? They're gonna speak of peace on the earth, peace and safety, but destruction is gonna come. Right? We just read it. 2 Esdras, the 16th chapter. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, great confusion. And one of those things for famine is going to be the famine of word, right? And it's going to be great confusion in the earth. Everybody right now can't even see it. They're so lost in the damn sauce, they don't even know what the flavor is, right? Verse 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. It's either one, famine or the sword, man. And that's really the 2/3, man. Call law Yahawah Shema Shai, Lord willing. Lord willing, we are of the elect, man. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 21. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. What is that? We just read 2 Esdras that they won't miss, right? Those things that's well-drawn bow that shall fly to the mark are the missiles. Just like what you go on YouTube, you see these missiles that have been dropped on Israel and them, right? They went straight to the mark. Let's see if we can find it, because I was just watching a plethora of videos. So let's see if my YouTube is going to be kind to me today.
Buckle up, because this is the crisis moment.
That was the key. He said, buckle up. Sam, he just did a lesson. That's crazy. That's the spirit right there. Let me go to Samuel Wallace's page. Look, this man just said, buckle up. His brother Samuel Wallace, Salaki, my brother, he just did a video 5 days ago. Right here. And it's called Buckle Up, Jake. You got to buckle up, man. Embrace for impact. This is a crash course. Embrace for impact. Those missiles is in they said Israel said that they got a dome or something. Those missiles touch their land. That dome don't work. And Donald Duck talking about a golden dome. You out your damn mind. The Lord set this all up. You can't stop. It's inevitable. Inevitable. Right? Let's see this. What does inevitable mean?
As an adjective, inevitable means certain to happen, unavoidable. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
Yes.
As a noun, it means a situation that is unavoidable.
See? So inevitable is a certain to happen or unavoidable. So we can't avoid this. We can't avoid it. It's going to happen, man. You know, like when you get nervous, you about to. I always use a roller coaster. You get nervous, now you on this ride, that hill looking giant, tall as hell. But you want to do it, but you just nervous. Like, damn, I don't want to feel the drop. I just want it to be an easy, smooth ride. It's that nerve feeling that you get. Right? This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen, man. This is gonna happen. So increase, maximize your faith. Lord willing, you are of the elect. Right? To keep going, it says, verse 22, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Right? And this flood is going to be the flood of the missiles. Right? The missiles is going to flood Babylon and make it a lake of fire. Deacon. It's going to be a lake of fire. Like, let's look at this one. This is not second Ezra. This is Revelations 8 and 7. It says, the first angel sounded, and there followed there followed hail fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees were burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. Right? This goes into what the missiles, like, let me go to Revelations 9, because it kind of describes the missiles. Right? Let's see. When you go to verse 16 in Revelation 9, it says, the number of the army of the horsemen going into power, it's not a literal horsemen, right? Were 200,000. So 200 million. And I heard the number of them. Now it's about to describe the horsemen. It says, thus I saw the horses in a vision. So this is John the Revelator having a vision of the horsemen. And them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and javelins and brimstone. This is not no man. No man is having brimstone. We seen what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Brimstone, that's destroying. It says, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lion, and out of their mouth issue fire and smoke and brimstone. Talking about the back. What I just saw, when you seen the missile coming down, it looked like fire. You got another one where it says the stars fell out the sky. It's not talking about real stars like shooting stars. The missiles look like a star. Right? When I just showed you that missile, you can replay this live. When I showed you that missile, what did it look like? It looked like a fallen star. Right? Let's go back to this preset right here. Let's go back to this video.
This is Trump's.
Right? That looked like a fallen star. Before I go back to Revelations 9, let's get that precept real quick. Revelations chapter 6, verse 13. The stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Right? When we go to, what is it? Jeremiah 51, a destroying wind. That destroying wind is those missiles. Revelation 7, right? That destroying wind is the missiles. Those stars of heaven is talking about those missiles, because they're going to go up and they're gonna be they're gonna be down there in the atmosphere, and they're gonna fall down. They're gonna look like stars. We just seen an example on a YouTube video, right? So back to Revelations 19, where we just explained the horsemen. Now, verse 18, by these three was the third part of men killed. Really, the third part of men. Truly, when we look at the third part, is three types of men: the son of wicked, the son of wicked, the sons of God, and the sons of men, which is the heathens, the sons of men. The sons of God is the Israelites, and the sons of the wicked are the Edomites. The third part of men killed by the fire, by the smoke, by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouth. Because even more, what's going to happen? Israel is going to be destroyed. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, verse 17 to 18, and his other precepts too. It says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents. It had heads, and with them they do hurt. Go on Google and look up a lizard, a tail falling off. It's lizards, serpent lizards, that they tail can fall off and it can grow back again. So it's describing a missile, even a rocket, even when they get that spacecraft that they talk about, when it fly to a certain height, it breaks off. But when you look at a missile, it's a missile, and then each part breaks off at a certain point. That's describing the serpent. Again, verse 19, it says, for their power is in their mouth, and in their tail, for their tail were like unto serpents, describing like a lizard, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. What's the head? It's just like a bullet. When you shoot, the back part of the bullet falls off because the thing, it pushes back to the sensitive spot that pushes out the spark, and then it shoots out the head of the bullet. So when you look at a missile, the main impact is at the tip, and that's where all the warheads sit at, right? So it said it had heads. It had heads. The heads is representing the warheads, and with them they do hurt. So you gonna have because now they got ICBM missiles that can carry about up to 8, 12, and 20 warheads, depending on which one they are. So they can shoot New York and hit multiple targets. So if they hit Manhattan, they can have 8 warheads, and some of them is going here, some of them going there, but they're going to be all in damn near in the same area. They're just going to impact at different areas at different times, but at the same time impact, right? That's like all my fingers. This is one hand, but all my fingers, I can either go like this, boom, into one spot, but they're going to shoot out like a shotgun. When you shoot out a shotgun and you shoot somebody in the chest, it be all different spots, but that body got hot, that body got hit. That's why it's better to shoot up close. So when this missile, ICBM missile come down, all the warheads is going to come out, and they're going to hit different spots of that location. So if they aiming at New York, it's going to hit New York, but it's going to hit in different spots. That's a warhead. Those are the heads, and they do hurt. Verse 20, it says, and the rest of them which were not killed by these plagues, which is really the elites, some of these other nations, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. They didn't even repent for it. They didn't even repent for the things that they have done, man. These is wicked fools, man. They didn't repent at all for the shit that they have done. So at the end, guess what? Don't expect no repenting, because they're not going to be sorry for what they have done. These missiles is going to drop. Come on, man. So back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 23, it says, yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Ill dealings, Donald Duck, ill dealings. We really talking about the elites. The elites is doing ill dealing. They're the reason why this shit is gonna fall, man. But it's really because the knowledge, we got the knowledge now. Now they afraid. They're like, oh man, our kingdom about to fall, man. Right? Let's go to that in Jeremiah 51, man. The least they too greedy for power. Jeremiah 51 and 1, it says, thus saith Yahawah Shemashai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise. So like, let me read that again. Thus saith Yahawah Shemashai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Come on, man. He says a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Right? These other nations against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Right? Babylon is about to go bye-bye, night-night. You know when you tell your kids night-night, Babylon about to go night-night, a destroying wind. That destroying wind is those missiles, right? What he said again, Wisdom of Solomon 5:23, and a mighty wind, that's that destroying wind, shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Right? Ill dealing, man. The worse America get, the worse that these elites is pushing whatever they pushing, especially the MOTB. That's ill dealing. They want total control, and if you don't yield to this new system, you're gonna be put to death. What's Revelations the 13th chapter verse 15? If you don't worship the image, you're gonna die, man. Let me get that first. Let me get that before I get that Isaiah. Revelations the 13th chapter. In verse 15, it said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't worship this new image, which is the New World Order, you're going to be put to death, man. Put to death. Some Jake is going to be afraid of that, right? You can hear it as a word, but when it become your reality, some Jake are going to be afraid that, dang, oh, if I don't bow down to them, I'm gonna die, but I don't want to die. What if I die and my kids don't? It's going to be so much on people's mind. Really, you got to think your kingdom coming next, right? Right? And it's really about the elect men, right? See, because this truth already came out. The elect is already sealed. It doesn't matter if you die for this, man. You die for this thing. You just don't yield to this system. If you endure and you don't get put to death and you in hiding, it doesn't matter if you get put to death or you in hiding. The end is going to happen in the elect getting salvation. So choose the wisest thing, man, right? Endure this thing. Isaiah 41:16, it says, thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. This just sounds just like Jeremiah 51:1 and 2, the fanner. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in Yahawah Shemashai, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. Right? Because even when that missile dropped, you got that fire, and then you got the blow. Yo, it's going to be amazing. Yo, the sight is going to be amazing. And it's going to be even better when you in the chariot watching it. Those that make it is going to feel like they were in a dream, and they going to laugh. But it's going to be a breather like, oh my goodness, it's a nightmare, man. It's Jeremiah 23:18. It says, for who have stood in the counsel of Yahawah Shemashai, and have perceived and heard his word? Who have marked his word and heard it? Right? Guess what? This truth, if you taking it serious through the spirit, you're marked. That goes into that Ezekiel 9:4, being marked by the name of Yahawah Shemashai, which is the mark of exemption, right? The mark, the exemption from judgment. You ain't getting no nuke hit on you because you got the mark of exemption. Lord willing, this was edifying, man. Again, the title of this lesson, Yahawah, Yahawashi, will reward the just and war against the wicked. And the Lord is always angry at the wicked. Psalm 7 and 11, right? The wicked is Esau, man. And, you know, you 2/3 is following along because you're going to be destroyed on this side. But all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, the Wadi Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, for allowing me and whoever else is believing in the same sound doctrine to get edified, the men, women, and children. And Lord willing, man, this was edifying and straight to the point. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders that rule well and teach well. Mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, bringing forth sound doctrine. Lord willing, that you all continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwat Yom, believers of his faith and his truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. With that, shalom, shalom, above.